Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Now Teslafy. I'm going to be doing a interesting meetup tonight. So I'm meeting up with MyTeslaWeekend Brian. If you've ever watched his channel or follow him here on Twitter, we're going to connect. We haven't ever connected in real life before. We're both headed down to Tesla Takeover. I'm in Vancouver, Washington. Let's get our FSD on and go meet him. All right, we're back, everybody, and I have hooked up with Brian from MyTeslaWeekend. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, everybody.
And he's going to be doing FSD. How about that? So I'm going to sit here in the driver's seat, or excuse me, in the passenger seat, which is a newer experience for me. And you'll be able to check out Brian's video about the same time. We figured this would be a good opportunity to meet up and connect. And yeah, and of course, let him experience FSD.
Yeah, very cool.
You have an idea where you want to go?
No, I was gonna hop on the freeway and make it an easy one.
Okay.
Because that's what we did in Bluecruise. So I won't even turn it on until we get to the freeway.
Well, you should turn it on before you get to the freeway.
I should.
Because that's an advantage Tesla has.
Yes. Well, okay. Why don't we just go to Salmon Creek and back?
All right.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're good.
So yeah, we'll just pick anywhere here. Sure. Start. So this is not Bluecruise. This is not autopilot. This is not enhanced autopilot. This is for reals, get up and go. Let's do it.
We are on full self-driving beta version 11.4.4, which is the most recent version. 11.4.6 was rolled out to employees.
Oh, you've got a stock. Look at
I do have a stock, yeah. That's
that's my favorite.
All the way down?
All the way, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah, I haven't experienced that in a little while. Okay.
So, as I was saying on my way down here, this version of beta, in my opinion, is the best it's ever been for highway. So you'll get to directly compare that against Bluecruise, I suppose.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Do not enter.
Let's go with the traffic control. Right? This way. So while we're driving, we're going to talk about the news, because that's what we did with Bluecruise. It was Bluecruise and weekly news, and we're going to FSD and talk about all the things that rhyme. I don't know, maybe I'll fix it in post.
Always a good time.
You'll let me know when I should engage?
Sure. Maybe once you get out here to the stop sign.
Okay.
That would be perfect. Double tap down. There you go.
And I'm just going to keep my hands gently.
Yep, that's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not disengaging. I'm not trusting that. That was not. You can jump it. There's a car kind of.
Let's try to look at the. We'll go ahead and full screen though, so we got a little bit better version. Yeah, I was trying to pay attention to kind of both angles. I didn't see exactly what might have happened, if it could have made it or not.
Oh, this is car in my blind spot. I don't like that. Because we're turning left, I assume. Oh, we're going straight? Nope, we're turning left.
There you go, yeah.
Okay. Because, yeah, I didn't like where that was. Would it have done something wrong? I don't know. I just wasn't comfortable.
That's definitely one of the things that I have noticed in the majority of people's perhaps reluctance, perhaps, for FSD.
He inched forward. We inched forward.
Yeah. So I having used it so much now, I have a lot of trust in what it's going to do, and I'm more willing, I guess, to go let it do its thing more often. Not that it not that I don't stop it when I need to, and I don't blame you at all.
Right. I assume you would rather have me be overly cautious.
Yes,
than...
indeed.
Now, the, whoops, I forgot.
Maybe just double.
I put my foot on the brake.
Oh, yeah.
Out of habit. So, yeah, interesting. So we'll see how this gets us on the freeway. One bit of interesting thing in the news is India is talking that, here, I'll let you.
Yep.
If there's anything interesting, you know, is the government, what is it beeping for?
Powering off?
Why are you powering off? Why are you powering off? Oh. Got it.
NHTSA stop.
Okay. And we will talk about NHTSA in a little bit. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. So one of the questions is India, you know, the government officials, we're in talks with Tesla to build a $24,000 car. Okay, we're just playing telephone at this point. Do you think India makes sense? Do you like it? What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't keep up on this side of things as much as perhaps you do, but you know, from what little I do know, India is definitely one of those up-and-coming countries, right? It seems like their manufacturing is also something that is starting to perhaps get in the ballpark of where China was. So perhaps, again, from my little, I think it probably makes sense.
Yeah. I made a video over a year ago saying India's coming next, and I got a lot of fans in India for that, and I got a lot of detractors.
Shout out to India fans.
Yeah, and I got a lot of detractors telling me all the reasons it doesn't make sense. Now, the most constructive criticism I got was, you got the country right, but the city wrong. It wouldn't be in Mumbai, it'd be on the other coast. And I was like, that's what I need to hear. That's the information I need. India does make sense. BYD was just in the news this week. They've been, boy, this is handling it, man.
It is. It goes
smooth, competent, capable. Yeah.
It's so much better than it has been too. It's getting up to speed.
It's slowing down now. Oh, because there was a guy coming up in my blind spot that I didn't see. And now we're at speed. Hell yeah.
It does like to go all the way to the end of the merge lane though, but it does so safely.
Yeah. So the BYD was looking to build a factory in India, and they've just confirmed it's not going to happen. We don't trust China. And some people have looked at that and said, well, that means that you can actually put it in me for this part if you want. You can actually film me for this. Because I'll ask you for a copy of this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hold it back further if you need to. Or
sure.
Oh, it's giving me blues. That means I need to apply more pressure.
Just a little bit.
Yep. So what that means is, they say, well, this means that India is no longer interested in foreign investment. No, it means they're not interested in BYD. India and China don't have as hostile of a relationship as China and some other countries, but China is one to keep an eye on. And while the U.S. is also one to keep an eye on, I don't think foreign governments necessarily conflate Elon. Well, we're changing lanes.
Yep.
Nice.
Faster lane. And
nice.
There's somebody behind us too, so crept right in there.
Yep, crept right in. A little tighter than I would have, because what FSD can't see is she looks like she might be on her phone. So I don't think people conflate India, China, and BYD the same way they conflate the U.S. and Elon Musk. I don't think Elon is as all America as that would be. I would get over. I'm going to go ahead and indicate.
Yep. So you can just turn on your indicator and it will move over when it gets an opportunity. That is one thing that I also mentioned on my way up to see you is Beta does like to camp that left lane.
Yeah.
And generally what will happen, in my estimation, is if there is a car rolling up on you and you're in the left lane quicker, it will then actually go ahead and move over. But if there's already a car behind you, keeping pace with you, it's not going to go ahead and move.
Is that this?
Yeah, that's my radar detector.
Oh, okay. So, Bluecruise doesn't change lanes. You change lanes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It will, now if you don't put on the blinker, it will prevent you from changing lanes. It will lane keep for you.
Okay.
But...
And here's our exit.
And here's our exit. This is... So...
This is not Bluecruise.
This is not Bluecruise. This is head and shoulders above. Now, Bluecruise was... I enjoyed it. It was adaptive cruise control and nothing else. I mean,
lane keeping.
It was lane keep and don't rear end the guy in front of you.
Sure, yep.
Set the max speed, stay in. But it did struggle with gentle curves.
Interesting. Yeah, I've not had opportunity to test Bluecruise yet.
On the drive down with Lightning Ryan Fulcher, I would have gone slower, but we were under the speed limit. On the drive down, it did a hard disengage for us on a gentle bend. On the drive back, the same gentle bend did not disengage. But it warned us. It said, you might need to take over. Wow.
There you go, right to the hospital.
Good Lord, this is great. So I've disengaged because...
Yep, we're at our destination.
We're at our destination, and I don't know which exact spot on the map I poked, and I don't need to wander around a medical facility like a autonomous Mr. Magoo. So let's go ahead and put our return. I'm gonna just go over here.
So we did make it, and the
yeah.
And we'll head back to our recent.
That was. Okay. Yeah, the Bluecruise, its disengage is very interesting, because what it'll do is it'll beep at you louder, and then it'll pump the brakes.
Oh, wow.
So if you're not paying attention, if you dozed off, that's going to get your attention.
So it almost does like a phantom, not a phantom brake, as people complain, but it actually brakes for you?
Tap, tap.
Did you experience that?
Yes, he went ahead and let it go too far, because it doesn't give you strikes the way Tesla does. Sure. So it tap the brakes, and if you still don't intervene, it'll begin slowing down.
Interesting.
Which I thought was, boy, that's a very smart attention getter.
Sure. Unless there's traffic behind you, what happens if there's somebody behind you?
You need to be paying attention at that point. It is disengaging.
Interesting.
So India makes sense. Because we're doing so good on this, let's talk about NHTSA and safety and investigations, because now we're getting into your wheelhouse. Because for those who do not know, now Teslafy does a lot of FSD tests and videos. I'm going to give it a nudge. Come on, baby. No, you're not going to go? Okay, I'm going because
I think with those right turns, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't do it all the time, but it usually will not try and take a free right with a red arrow.
Oh. Okay.
So,
well, I will tell you from other videos we've seen where Omar and Kilowatts and someone else were racing in Cruise, Waymo.
Yes. Yep.
And that Ryan just ended up stuck at an intersection while Cruise thought about it.
Yeah.
And that's, thank you. And that's what probably would have happened here, is I would have just sat there until it decided it was ready to go.
Yeah, or the green light.
Well, yes, either way.
It would have gone on green.
Yeah. NHTSA is, they've got concern. So there's a publication, and I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I'm going to call them Ars Technicolor, which is, it might be Ars Technica, but I've decided that it's Ars Technicolor because that looks like a baboon's business area, which is what I think they are at best. So on their website, they've got an article up on the, let's see, the 24th, saying oh, the deadline came and went, and Tesla did not. We can't see if Tesla provided the information that NHTSA requested. And why would you see it? That's none of your business.
Sure.
They wouldn't have sent it to you also. And the information they've requested, it's nonsense. We want to know every hardware version in every car ever sold in the US with any level of autopilot. All the hardware, all the cameras, all the everything. So if I was Tesla, you know how I would send it to them?
An Excel sheet.
Oh, no. No, I would send it to them as each car gets its own page in a PDF.
Oh, there you go.
A 1
I guess
million
Excel would
page
be too much
PDF.
help.
Would be too much help. You can sort that.
Yeah.
You can fit 1 million lines in Excel.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But 1 million page PDF?
Yeah.
And better yet, save it as an image rather than text.
Yeah.
But you've had a lot of experience driving on FSD.
I do.
How do you feel about the safety level?
So, interestingly enough, if anybody's watched my videos, one of my biggest complaints is actually one of the things that that Tesla has implemented from NHTSA guidelines. That is the stop, the hard zero stop, 0 miles an hour. And I believe that's more of a safety issue than they make it out to be. And I think it actually is worse because, again, in my videos, you come to a four-way stop. The car makes its full stop. And there's another car that maybe arrived there nearly at the same time. Well, everybody's kind of looking at each other who's going to go first. Well, the Tesla will then go ahead and start to creep just a little bit to get maybe closer to the line. And so then the other cars think you're going to take your turn, but you don't. And so then you're there awkwardly, and so maybe somebody else decides, okay, he's not going, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to gun it, right? And then the Tesla decides to maybe go. So anyway, it's a really big, extremely awkward thing. Nobody else ever comes to a complete zero stop unless, like, they're waiting for the other car, right? So I think that the inching towards the line, and anyway, so I feel like that is a scenario where it's actually harmed the safety, perhaps, of FSD users.
Okay, that is honestly the reaction I would have wanted.
Yeah, nice and safe around that car. It was a little bit of a hard stop, slow down, but
yep.
not inappropriate.
I would agree. And I'm appreciative that the nag is visual, so that I don't have to wait for a chime and then jerk on the wheel too hard. It's by the way, is this going to show up in this video?
Yes.
Perfect. Yep. So you will be able to see that, and you'll see my hands.
Yep.
Because I don't know what to do with my hands.
Ricky Bobby.
I love me some Ricky Bobby. I love a lot of those movies. Oh,
so, this is what weird kind of gray area. It's a long yellow, so I think that was probably okay. I think stopping there would have been a bit much. Yeah.
I've seen cops that would go either way on that light.
Yeah, that was a close call for sure.
Yeah. Yep. If it was me, the only thing I would have done differently is accelerate a little.
Sure.
But I still would have gone through that light. Wow. So this has been a much shorter drive, but a much more complicated drive. No phantom braking, no disengagements. I chose to go at that light because there was a car behind me. Mm-hmm. And, oh no, that's right. Right at the beginning.
We did have that. Yep.
Right, we disengaged because I was scared.
Which was totally
and it's not
fine.
my car.
Totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but once we're moving, and again, Bluecruise only used it on the highway.
Yep.
So.
And it can only do on certain portions of the highway, yes?
Yes, but it works. It is a lot more. The adaptive cruise control still works in other scenarios, but it's hands-on. So on this road, you could activate it, but it would become hands-on.
Interesting.
I haven't had a chance to test that to see how well that works. Once we got off the highway, I disengaged and put a brake in the video so people wouldn't have step-by-step directions to my house.
Yeah. Deep considerations.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty fun. I would say, yeah, without hesitation, this is, whoa,
I was wanting to make a turn there, so.
Yeah. miles and miles above Bluecruise.
It can actually do not so complicated parking lots decently. Like, I usually don't use it in parking lots, but.
Right.
Okay, it's going to take us to the door is what it's wanting to do.
I want to, boy, I'm going to go ahead and take over here because we are close to the door. So your assessment on those NHTSA investigations is not a big deal.
Well, yeah, I think it's definitely, I think it's a hindrance, to be honest, is how I see it, is Tesla really is the only company I feel like that is trying to make significant,
Jesus Christ.
quick, yeah, no kidding.
Are they gonna see me?
I hope so.
You know,
They're the only company I feel like that's trying to make
I'm gonna go a different way just to avoid that.
Yeah,
Those goddamn human drivers.
right, exactly.
Hashtag ban humans.
I think Tesla's on the path to make full self-driving quickly deliverable to more people in their approach. And I have yet to see any true evidence that there's high negligence at stake that is also putting other people's lives in danger. And there are certainly players out there, Dan O'Dowd, who want that to happen so bad. And I also feel like it's disingenuous well, that's a whole story. Anyway, so I think it's a bit of a hindrance. Not that it doesn't deserve some oversight, because I think that it should. But I think there is an unfair mark on Tesla and their approach.
There is definitely, they are definitely painting a target on Tesla. Absolutely, 100%. And Clown O'Dan doesn't really care about safety because all the other companies have issues that are similar or much worse, and he's so quiet even his crickets have fallen silent. And it's very dishonest, and he's got resting O'Dowd face, which is the most polite way I can put it. He is an angry, bitter man. And they're now that we're talking about licensing software, that's his whole business.
Right, exactly.
He's going to see his whole thing fall apart, which, good, because he's, you know, a monster.
Press
right.
in the button. Yep.
Right. Because he's a monster. He's a terrible person. You will need to readjust your seat.
That's totally fine. It's easy entry.
Right, right. Goodbye, everyone. You'll have a sleep mode in the future when you engage level 5. You push sleep mode. It's just.
Hey, that's legit. I bet you that will happen. Like when we finally achieve full self-driving, and you can sleep or do whatever you want. That's gonna be an option. Just lays you back down.
Yeah, we are looking good. We are still recording. That's helpful too. So it was a nice short drive. My take on the on the NHTSA thing, they have bad actors who flood their email daily, and I definitely don't know this firsthand from a report from someone who works at NHTSA, but I do. So it's ridiculous, and it doesn't help the anti-Tesla cause. It doesn't make them more likely to incur harm against Tesla. All it does is distract from real safety investigations that could actually make a difference.
Exactly.
You can say it's not a safer car, but the numbers don't lie.
That's right.
Teslas are less likely to crash than other cars. Teslas are being driven on some kind of autonomy are less likely to crash, and those with FSD engaged are less likely to crash still. Well, that's because a human supervisor. Oh, okay. Well, great. You want to ban the thing that you just said does work, but only for the wrong reason?
Yeah.
Ah, come on, guys. Oh, so dumb. So dumb. I would say, though, as competent as FSD is, $15,000 is a lot of money.
All right, so post-mobile editing, Sean here. This part of the conversation kind of extended outside the car. I end up leaving here and we start conversing outside. My main point in response to Brian's comment that FSD was expensive was that I paid $10 for mine, and at that time I think that was a decent price. Obviously now FSD is getting to a lot better spot where it makes a lot of sense and is doing way better than it was when I bought it. And I think if I was to do it all over again, I'd probably actually go the subscription route. If you plan to get FSD for your car, it makes a lot of sense to do it with subscription if you plan on upgrading your car after a couple of years. I think that makes the most sense. And especially at this point in time, FSD's resale value on your car isn't as valued as it should be. So that's where we ended the conversation. Then we started talking about the current offer that you can transfer your FSD to another brand new vehicle. And I think that made sense for a lot of folks who are maybe using an older Tesla and maybe looking at a S or an X, or maybe even just a brand new Y or more seating, etc. for the 7-seat model. And yeah, so there's more to that conversation. That will be on Brian's channel. Definitely go check that out. Let's continue with my drive. All right, well, that was a good time. You know, that is definitely the first time I've connected with another YouTuber, and especially someone as, you know, well known and respected as Brian. So thanks again, Brian, for showing up and extending the invite. I definitely appreciate that. Looking forward to connecting with you and everybody else again at the Tesla Takeover in California. Overall, really good drive, and I think Brian had a great experience, you know, especially on the back of Bluecruise. It's pretty much a joke to even compare the two, if we're being honest here, right? And he seemed to come away just as excited about it, and so overall, awesome, right? Now, not that Brian has never used a Tesla or FSD before, but he said it'd been a while, so really good experience. And, you know, certainly, so we're being really cautious here. Keep going, buddy, keep going. All right, so no reason, we had a completely green light there. I'm gonna readjust here and he also, you know, so here's where we came out. Coming out of here, he was a little timid about that right turn against traffic. And hey, you know, first time in, as I mentioned, it's totally normal to not have the full confidence. I totally get it. And if you're buying a new Tesla, use my link below, please. You'll probably have that same experience until you kind of understand how to read the screen, what you're looking for, and how the Tesla is going to behave. That's totally understandable. So, but overall, easy drive. Again, I told him for sure it's the best version of Tesla on the freeway, highway that I've ever experienced, and that was the majority of our driving. So anyway, this is going to be a pretty quick, easy drive back. So just a couple more intersections and that will be the end of our drive. I lost battery about halfway through it. I'm not sure where that was at this point, but my main point that I wanted to make at the end of this video is that this really was a very easy challenge for Beta. We didn't really do anything super complicated. We didn't try to push it or anything, or put it in some complicated scenarios. That's not what this really was about. And my point is, that's most of our driving, right? And if Beta can nail that, that's what we want, because who wants to do this boring 4-way stops and merging onto the highway and all that stuff? I mean, at least not if you have the option to. It's nice to be able to not have to do it. And Beta is nailing those things. And I think so far, my short time just around here, Vancouver, Washington, the driving, FSD has been just doing fantastic around here. Even better than my town. And yeah, so really great drive. Thanks so much again for Brian from My Tesla Weekend for inviting me out for this opportunity. And yeah, Beta, man, is good even in towns you're just not super familiar with, and it's taking care of this boring stuff that we don't really want to do or may not want to do. So there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time. Now Tesla.